girls, children of all ages. Welcome to another edition of the Sideline Junkies Thursday night throwdown. It's the big guy King G sitting there with the boss BJ, the Midnight Rider. Fellas, first and foremost, with my hair all over my head, how y'all doing?
Doing good, man. Hope you don't get in trouble.
Well, I'm not sure on the phone. Before we get started and we jump into this, I got to show y'all this. 25 years ago today, that bad boy right there dropped.
Oh, jeez. The push. That's what it should be called.
Hold on. Let me go to solo layout so you can see all of it. Don't hate.
Oh, my goodness.
25 years ago today.
You had to go solo for this?
Yeah, because you got to see that. This is not something that I bought offline. This is my original copy.
Man,
this is an original copy.
He pushed Brian Russell so far, he's not even in the picture.
Oh Lord, here we go. 25 years ago today, they dropped this beauty right here. This Sports Illustrated, and I've only taken it out of the case. This is maybe the third or fourth time I've taken it out of the case in the last 25 years. I used to have it on the bookshelf in between different things, but 25 years. That shows how things roll around.
Let me grab the Wheaties box.
Oh, I got that.
Grab the Wheaties box.
Oh,
I bet I got something that you ain't got.
I bet you don't.
I bet you ain't got a box of OVOs.
All right, then you win that one.
Exactly.
I think I got the better Wheaties box.
I got
the better Wheaties box.
I got the Jordan Wheaties box, the gray one.
Wheaties box challenge next show.
Now you're gonna make me go to my mama's house and find it.
Hey, Wheaties box challenge.
Yeah, but I got OVOs. I got OVOs and Dunkin'
I used to have a box of Fruity Flakes. I have no idea what happened to it.
Those were fun.
No idea.
But gentlemen, the Wizards are cooking up a 60-piece wing with salt, pepper, ketchup, mumbo sauce. They are in the kitchen wheeling and dealing and cooking. They just flipped Chris Paul, who was a part of the Bradley Beal deal. They just flipped him. He didn't even get a chance to come in the building and say hey to nobody. They flipped him as soon as the deal was official. Sent him out to Golden State. Get back Jordan Poole, Ryan Hollins. Hold on, let me make sure I got all this right.
Ryan Rollins, you're right.
And they get a bunch of picks back. They got hold on.
There's a 2030. There's a 2030 first round.
Okay.
There's a 2025 second round, I think. I think there's a 28 first, but the last part you got to correct me on because I've been hearing bits and pieces of it. But it turns out like they added like 10 picks almost.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous.
Yeah, a lot of them are second rounders, but that's okay.
Well, the key is going to be the Phoenix pick swaps not in 24, but in 26 and 28. Because you say this team has a 4-year shelf life or a 5-year shelf life, because the word you're going to be hearing tonight and the rest of the NBA season is the apron. That I'm telling you, that's the key, and it's going to change how teams get built. So this apron that everybody's talking about in this CBA is going to create chaos. You might see the chaos tonight. You might see it this time next year at next year's draft, where teams are trying to start shedding some salaries because it's going to be hard to move guys once this gets in place.
Well, I know the boss BJ got a lot to say because he's the resident Wizards fan. He's one of them. So, how do you feel about this Bradley Beal thing and flip Chris Paul? And somebody said that the Wizards fleeced the Warriors for Jordan Poole. And I asked the question. I know you guys gave your answer. Also, go ahead and tell me how you feel about it. We'll get to the question afterwards.
Well, like I said our last show, a lot of the initial Bradley Beal reaction was Wizard fandom frustration. But I said something in our WhatsApp chat. I think this might be, just this short time, this might be the best a Wizards front office has been in my lifetime. Okay, 42 years on Earth, and just these moves. And the Midnight Rider kept saying it. Hey, wait for the shoe to drop. Wait for it's coming. And you know, as a fan, when you're a fan and you're invested in your team, you don't want to hear that. But you're looking at these things fall in, and that Bradley Beal trade been hanging in the air, kind of like the a spectacular move layup. That Jordan when he's hanging in the air, that trade has been hanging in the air, and then bam, Chris Paul to the Warriors. Jordan pulled back. This is still, and I wanted to talk about it today. I didn't get a chance to, but this is still a franchise. I feel great about this right now. I feel really, really optimistic. They might have me on hook for 10-game season tickets, you know? But this is still not, you still don't have guys here that you're going to build around. I'm with Midnight Riders still. I still think, look, it's 7:37. I still think we got time for a couple of more shoes to drop. And don't forget it might not happen tonight, but don't forget the Kyle Kuzma shoe. Because if he wants all the money he possibly can get, he has to sign with the Wizards. And I don't think I don't think he would be against a sign and trade to get maximum money. And the contenders are going to be fighting for him. He's not going to Atlanta. Atlanta, I don't think Atlanta's a contender. But you don't know what I'm saying. The top 10 teams are fighting for this guy for his services because he is valuable as a third and fourth option.
Now, go ahead. You go ahead.
We're still talking about Bill and company. I mean, right. For me,
how do you feel now?
I think. Oh, I told you. I thought this was going to be the beginning. Like, the Bill trade was putting the cornerstone down of whatever you're building, and now and some of these bricks are going to be permanent. Some of them aren't. I've been listening to people all day, and I think the kid that everybody's talking about isn't exactly Poole. It's the Rollins kid. He's supposed to have a high basketball IQ. Supposed to be a tenacious defender. And some of these words that you're going to start hearing them over and over again because now we're building with the plan and we're building, my favorite word, with a type. Now we got types. And you're going to start hearing them talk about their types more and more as we go along. And that's the beauty of this is I'm not quite at BJ where I think this is the best ever, but we're getting close to it. We've been getting pretty damn close to it. And then also, fellas, let's not forget, you got DeLeon Wright, you got Tyus Jones, and you got Morris, all possible people that can be moving as well in pieces of future deals. Question, real quick, how far are we going in the pool? Because are we staying on the edge, the kiddie pool, or are we going to the deep end? Because I got more about pool. I just don't know if you want that information now or you want that later on in the show.
I mean, I'm standing at the edge of an Olympic pool. I'm ready to go.
So here's my thoughts on pool.
I don't know if y'all want to see the Speedos,
but I think pool is pool is our version of Golden State having D'Angelo Russell. He's got a little bit of a flawed history just because of last year. I think he comes in here, he rehabs his rep. He's a good player because he's a gym rat, and he always works on his game. So he can possibly influence some of your younger guys, get them shooting in the gym more, get them working out before they get to practice. He can have a very positive influence. And if he has that positive influence, he can be the guy you keep and you build around or with him, or he's the guy that when you get to February, you look around and see what he's worth. And if he's worth something to somebody, maybe take that. And if it's not what you want, you do the same exercise this next July and see what you can get for him then, or you keep him. Because you just went from 52 million, or actually this year's 47, to 24 million on your books. That's a pretty smooth move.
Now, I'm going to say this. We're talking about we're talking about Jordan Poole. I'm thinking of Kyle Kuzma because Kyle Kuzma got to think about Kyle Kuzma and go where the money is. But Jordan Poole, I asked the question. and I asked it online. We got some responses. I'll read those in a second. Do you keep Jordan Poole and build around him, or is he just a pawn to get somebody else? And I'll start with the Midnight Rider first, and then we'll go with the boss BJ.
I mean, that's just what I just said. Like, you just, that's why I was asking. Huh?
I need a definitive. You gave me a scenario. I need to know what you would do right now if you got this. I need you, not what you think they're gonna do, not what they're gonna do. I need you.
Hold on. I gotta get my GM cap on. He's gonna be here for a short time. He's here for a visit, not for a stay. So I would move him at some point because he's the asset. What you wanted Bradley Beal to be is what he is, especially if he comes out and plays like he played those 43 ball games, averaging 25 points a night. That's the guy you get upset if they don't get a lot for, or we don't get a lot for. And I put my reputation on that.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure because, like I said, the way the Wizards front office is moving, we got a lot of time left until their 8th pick. Now, it depends on what they're cooking and how much seasoning they need. Poole could be a part of moving up. Because don't forget, like the Midnight Rider said, this guy can ball. But he got 2 championships with the Warriors. He helped them. He wasn't riding the bench. I mean, he wasn't sitting there with the towels and the Gatorade. He helped with these championships. So you have a guy with championship pedigree. And, the thing is, everybody's different once they become the man on the team. And a lot of people can't handle that. You see it with numerous superstars out here in the NBA. Everybody can't be the man. It would be interesting to see if they want to keep him, if that's the route they go. I'm at the point now with this front office, I'm good with what they're doing. If they feel like they're going to keep him and move on, if they move him for more assets, if this is the Pelicans and all them assets, or the Hornets, all these assets you have sitting, all these picks and stuff, and don't forget, with Phoenix in the second round, these super teams are what, max 2-3 years? Max 2-3 years before somebody starts hating somebody, and now you see Kevin Durant playing for Dallas with Luka, or he playing, with Giannis, and now they break that team up. So you think about these picks that they're getting, all these second round picks could turn into a little bit more valuable depending on this 2-3 year window Phoenix might have, because, it is what it is. But I'm good either way. I don't have a definitive decision. If I'm a GM, if somebody comes across my desk with a Poole offer, and it's going to be a contender, we're not talking about the bottom 15 teams. We're talking about the top 6 teams, with Chris Middleton opting out, teams that think they're on the brink, and Portland's not one of those teams. I just want to make that clear. Portland's not one of those teams that's on the brink of winning the championships. There's only 4 or 5 of these teams, maybe 6 teams. Miami is drooling. They wanted Bill. Miami could be drooling for Jordan Poole. Like, y'all got something even better now. You said Tyler Hero? Here we go. So I'm on the fence. I'm good either way.
Here's a thought. You said Portland may not be in that realm, but if Portland offers the number 3 pick, cash considerations, and whoever else they got on their roster that's got an expiring contract,
that's the unicorn. That's what I'm saying. That's you sitting at the desk on the computer like, oh shit. And your wife asks you what's wrong. Like, did you spill some? No, baby, I'm good. You pull a computer closer, baby. I'm good. No, I'm good. And you get on the phone, be like, hey, Portland, hey, what's wrong? If you want them, you put it on mute real quick. These motherfuckers ain't gonna win no championship with him. Hey, yeah, I can have him. 3rd pick. Okay, cool. They're not gonna win no championship with Jordan Poole going to Portland.
But that's how I see it going. That's one of the scenarios I have in my head. because the third pick was talked about so much, and
it was.
I had to ask the Midnight Rider, who would you get at number 3? Who did you say? Scoot Johnson?
Scoot Henderson, baby. Scoot Henderson.
I'm surprised the big guy. I'm surprised the big guy KG ain't said his favorite thing. It's NBA draft time. Flying under the radar, throwing smoke screens. The Wizards can talk all they want now. It looks like Washington Wizards fans. It looks like you have a professional front office. They could be going for something completely different.
That's true. What did Sinbad say in First Kid? He was dang. He's like, I ain't doing nothing, but it looks good. That's it. But it gives you some sort of optimism. I'm not even a Wizard fan, and it's giving me optimism. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, they're going to win 70 games next year or nothing, because we don't even know what the rest of the roster is going to look like. And we don't even know who they can get at 8. Now, think about this. Take the 8th pick, Jordan Poole, and one of those second-round picks. Send them to Portland for the 3rd pick. You get your guy.
Or
you're getting Portland's GM fired.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Portland's GM should have been fired because he hasn't built around Dame Lillard since when?
But no, because they had the team with McCollum, and then they backed off of that,
and haven't done anything since. They're in the lottery.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna let BJ take this.
Here's the thing. Remember, this is something I say on this show all the time. When you got a professional front office, you're not just looking for the here and now. Don't forget, with this front office that is assembled for the Wizards, they came from different places, and it looks like they know what they're doing. Guess what? KG, you know that notebook you got for the show? They brought their notebook with them. So that means guys that are not this year's draft, next year's draft, the years after that draft, they already had, if you are a good GM, whether it's hockey, baseball, football, it doesn't matter. All right. You are planning 2 and 3, 4 years down the line. You already know who the top middle schoolers are, who the top freshmen are in high school. You already know this. You have, and it's not the Wizards GM. He has guys on that he trusts and know. So when you say the 3rd pick in Portland, this isn't a rush job. This is a 5-year, 3 to 5 year at minimum. You keep Jordan Poole, you mess yourself up and win 25 games next year. Or you got Gallinari, you got the other guard, Tyrus, I forgot his last name. You got all these pieces still, Tyrus Jones. Yes, you can keep these pieces, but now guess what? You just accumulated more stuff. Be like, I've seen you Poole and Tyrus Jones. I've seen you Poole and Gallinari, but I want that first top 5 unprotected pick in 2024. Or I want this, I don't want that. You got so many more bargaining chips. You got the hardest part out of the way, getting rid of Bradley Beal's contract. You got the hardest part. It's gone. Now this is you walked up a mountain to get to the top with your sled. That was the Bradley Beal contract. Now you get to have fun on the sled on the way down. This is the way down the mountain. You ain't got to worry about no polar bears or nothing running at you. This is sliding down the mountain 100 miles an hour. Not a care in the world, the wind blowing through your hair. This is downhill now. This is them actually, like the Midnight Rider said, creating an identity. This is what we want. This is what we're going to accept. This is what we're not going to accept. We want this type of player to help rebuild this franchise. And I think the moves they're making, and I know, they understand that they have to figure out how to make this a more attractive destination, why this is an NBA graveyard. And I think they're trying to figure that out as they go. And I think this is the moves they're making, because over the last week with the Bradley Beal trade and all the rumors and stuff, we've learned from around the league that this franchise is a joke to a lot of people. But I think the moves that are being made now are raising eyebrows, and people are like, hold on, Washington might be serious now.
And Perry says, great moves by the Wiz. He also says, clear the deck. And it seems like that's they're in the process of doing. Run with Tyus Jones, and Poole, deal Gallinari. I forgot he came over in the trade. And he also said let Kuz walk. If that pops up. All these they just not happening very fast.
It popped up.
But he said let Kuz walk. Okay. And I get it. And something you said, B. When I say it's got to take 3 to 5 years, y'all laugh at me. I said you got to have at least 5 years. Y'all laugh at me. Now, you just said the same thing that I say every year. You can't come in here and change out the pieces every 2-3 years. You got to give them at least 5 to mesh together and see what they're going to do. Now you talk about giving these guys 5 years. Come on, man.
Yeah, but this is yet last year. This is with Bill. This is with them trying to build around Bill and build something to go to the playoffs. This isn't a complete teardown. They have it completely tore down. They got rid of Wall. They still had Bill. They had Bill and Wall. They got rid of Wall. They tried to put some pieces around Bill. I think that probably, even though we know Bill's not that guy, I think this is, that I really believe if this three could have, I'm not going to call them the big three. They're the EBT three, like the Midnight Rider said. If they could have played all season together, they probably would have made the play-in. They probably would have been a 6 or 7 seed, because the reason why Porzingis' trade value was so high because he had a great season in his limited playing. He looked like the old Porzingis, and that's all. And I said that last part. That's all these guys have to do: a flash. Give me a 10, 15 game flash. Let me know you still got it in the tank. And that's another topic. We'll talk about Boston maybe another show, but. And that's another topic we'll talk about.
Is that me?
Yeah, I heard myself delayed. Can you hear me, Midnight Rider?
Yeah, you good, man. I heard you the whole time.
Okay. I was like, is that me talking?
So I'm gonna stay with. I think you repeat that last thing you said, because I was going somewhere, but I lost my train of thought because I was trying to figure out if that was my computer messing up or what was going on.
I don't even remember what I said. I was listening to my beautiful voice.
Got you, man.
I was saying about Porzingis playing so good and increasing his trade value and going to Boston. I was saying Boston's a whole different topic. We don't have enough time to talk about Boston.
Right, exactly. Totally agree. And I think with the Porzingis trade, that opened up more avenues for to gather more assets and gather things. And then they had unfinished business. You talked about the 3 to 5. Yes, it's a 3 to 5 year plan. I mean, think about it. They just added a first round pick in 2030. So there's some things that's going on that they're playing chess right now. That's what they're doing. They're not playing checkers. They mapped this out or had some kind of blueprint. If we can come out of this week with these things in place, it's a successful weekend. And if we don't get that, then we're going to go to the next step or do the next thing. And that's what I love about this, is it looks like they came in, they had a floor plan. All right, if I can get this move, if I can get this piece moved, we can move this. And then if Kuzma opts in, we're definitely moving him. But if he opts out, we'll see if he gives us a chance to do anything to get anything for him. So this is perfect for them. They've mapped this out the right way. This is why I was so high on this group, because I knew when they were coming in, they were going to put some things in place. I'm loving every minute of it right now.
That's it right there. Gather assets and create culture. That's what they don't have in DC.
Yeah. That's what I was going to add. Something else. In the next 3 to 4 weeks, there's going to be, and I don't know if they're going to announce it, but there's going to be something done to this training staff, to the facility, and to this arena to brighten up and make this experience a little bit different for the fans. For the atmosphere is for the fans. The training and all that is going to be for the players. The facilities is going to be for the players, because you got to start putting yourself in a position to acquire better players. Start sometimes with just the facilities and what the guys see when they walk in your building.
I'm gonna tell you something they need to do. They need to stop bullshitting. We've been waiting 25 years. They need to drop that black jersey, that black Wizards jersey. Go ahead and drop that black home uniform. We need that.
But what's your so it's gotta be a straight black.
No, it's black. It's the old, remember the blue Wizards jersey, the blue and white ones. They supposed to have a black version of those.
Okay.
And Perry says it's the lesson the Knicks learned when Leon Rose took over and they just got money from Qatar. So yeah, that is true. Got a little money overseas.
So that's part of something that's going for that money's going to Monumental, not going straight to just the Wizards. So it's gonna be for all the pieces of that conglomerate.
And why and Midnight Rider, why is that money? Why is that move to Monumental so important? What is Ted Leonsis trying to do in the next couple of years?
So I think he's trying to gather some money. So if this Masson deal works out, he can put together that deal where he buys the Nats. Yes. He makes that move to make the Monumental Network. Going Ted, it's going to be a streaming network. So if you don't have cable, you're going to pay a subscription, and you're going to have to get. This will be your option to get any history, any content. And the way I would set it up is almost like they did with the WWE, where you'd have the big games. Like I'd have them mapped out where you can go back in history and see certain games, certain big games. So when Paul said bank, that's in there. When Wall stands on the table, that's in there. When Worth hits the home run in 2012, that's in there. Because you want to start having people see this whole lineage of what you're building. Now, it ain't the greatest lineage for the Wiz, but for the Caps, you're seeing all the stuff from Ovechkin. You're putting together this network that's going to transcend what the sports world is ever going to see. And then the kicker is, and this is the other thing to watch in the next couple of weeks. Once this sale goes through with the Commanders, what I'm gonna be curious about is if Ted isn't one of those people that buys or they buy into each other some kind of way, and they come up with a deal for they come up with some kind of deal where they can feature the Commanders, their history or their videos on Monumental Sports. And hit Purry's if you got it.
Seems like we're having some technical difficulties. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So
okay.
Purry just in the chat. Gosh, I can't hold this little dumb chat button. He did something. Hold on.
Are the Wiz broadcast OTC local station and not cable? Is that the one you're talking about?
So most of that's it. So most of the Wizards games are on cable. So they're on their network, which at that time was NBC Sports. But what Ted did was bought NBC Sports, turned it into Monumental Sports. So now he has all the rights to all the material for the Wizards, all of it for the Caps. If he buys the Nationals, he'll have all that information. And then again, we go with Commanders and see what they can get from there. And that's how he can build this network that he's trying to build. Because Ted's trying to redefine how these teams carry their stuff. And this goes back to what I was talking about the other night, where we have those cable stations that were providing broadcasts for the 13 major league teams, how they've gone under. And now MLB has to take over their thing. So now, because the way cable's dying out, these teams have to find a source of revenue for their media rights, and that's what Ted is trying to be at the forefront of.
Yep, and that's what I wanted to hear. Ted is doing the same thing that the Wizards are doing right now, the front office, gathering assets to acquire what the Nationals, and like I'm not even gonna go just like the Midnight Rider said, everything he just said. So that's why that money and that investment is so important.
Now the question becomes, I think the way he circumvented the leagues is by it going to the monumental part of it and not going directly to the teams. So I think that was his way of circumventing any rules that the leagues have in terms of money for nations.
And that makes sense. And the NBA draft is, if you don't have ESPN Plus, I'm lucky to have it. But NBA draft is ramping up. We're having technical difficulties tonight. We definitely apologize for that. Real quick.
Let's see if we can get him for the last comment.
Let's see. I'm trying
there
to get
he
it
is.
up.
All right, I got you. Let's get through these comments and we can jump out of here. Just like the Commanders had to change the culture. Next step is the front office. Love what the Wiz are doing. That's from Ross. Perry says that a Wiz broadcast OTC local station, not cable, not anymore. It used to be. They don't do that no more. Suns and Jazz made the move from cable to OTC. Yeah, and that's really good for the Suns. And the draft is about to start now on ABC. Gentlemen,
it's not gonna be on ESPN, so I need to switch. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll give you the last comment. This is me, and I'm shutting up after this until we close it. But Wembanyama, if he doesn't put on weight, my man's got about 5 years in the league and he's done. I think Cat's gonna be a bust. I hope I'm wrong, but I think he's gonna be a bust. So.
Well, real quick on that, he got a pack on a low weight, but that's not what he's not going to be an inside guy. He's going to be a Kevin Durant prototype. He's going to be on the guard. He's going to be a hybrid 5.0 Scottie Pippen. He's going to be bringing the ball up, and then if he does,
he can't bring the basketball up. There's only one man over 7 feet tall to ever bring the basketball up in NBA history, and that's Nikola Jokic. No one else can do it. Only Jokic can do it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, if this kid does pack on enough muscle to play with the big boys, and he does live up to the hype, he's going to be a matchup nightmare. Because what other 7-foot guards beside, Kevin Durant is a small forward / guard. He not guarding him. Your best bet is somebody like Jan. I said this before, and I'm gonna give it to the Midnight Rider. You got a problem with Jokic now, and them having a draft to check him. You're gonna have a problem with this kid if he does it the right way, and the Spurs are an organization that know how to bring up their talent. He's under pop, so it's a recipe for success.
If they had Becky Hammond, it'd be better.
Okay. What they've done, Victor Wembanyama has done one thing that I heard today and it's impressed me, is his people have worked on his body to an extent where he strengthened up the tendons in his foot, things like that, to try to help him not have the big man foot thing that always comes up with the guys that are over 7'1". So he's had specified training on that, which is great. With San Antonio having the first pick, I am truly disappointed that this draft is not on TNT. Charles Barkley is not featured in some kind of way, because I would love to hear about how the San Antonio women love them some churros. And then let's get Ross. I know we about to bail out, but let's get Ross's joining. Let's see if we can get that.
He said, I missed the beginning. Who you guys want the Wiz to draft, or who's there when they draft? I say move up to number 3, get who you want. But I might get somebody fired doing that, but that's just me.
I'm gonna say for the first time in a long time, I don't know what direction the Wizards are going. I don't know if they want to keep the pick, package it for next year's stuff, or move up. We're looking at the 3 top guys right here, where I'm looking at them on the screen now. And we know that if you don't have a top 3 pick in this league, you're not rebuilding your franchise. And I'm not going to say that. most of the time. If you know what you're doing and you can find the guys, Steph Curry's and the Jimmy Butlers later, and which seems like this front office might be able to do, then you might have your guy at number 8. But I don't know. I really don't know. I had some names, but I'm throwing that out the window. I had to throw all my paper in the trash.
So I think the Wiz really would love to get Cam Whitmore Whitmore. Kid from Villanova, local kid. But he fits their type. And I think he's probably in the top 6. So unless one of these other guys impressed in their workouts or whatever, or somebody fell in love with somebody, I think he's gone by the time they pick. So I've heard an interesting caveat where maybe the Wiz at 8, maybe they take a trade from somebody because somebody loves somebody that they don't. And like if they're lukewarm on what's at 8, maybe they go and make a move to move back some, because the truth is this draft, after we get past the top 6, everybody's kind of the same. So unless you get lucky, you'll get the right person in your program. You're not getting anything substantial to recreate your franchise. I do like if they can get back in the late part of the first. I would love to see them get that Jaime kid from UCLA. He's a power forward or a forward. I would love to see him because he's another one of those guys that he's a solid leader. He's gonna be great in the locker room, and that's again things I think this team is going to value on a higher level.
Perry says, "What did they give up to get to Portland to get number 3?" I said the number 8 pick in Jordan Poole. And Ross, I do. Yeah, probably a couple more picks and something else.
See, the issue for them moving up is that their pick next year is top 8 protected for New York. And then in the next year, it's top 10 protected, and then it's top 12. But because you got those caveats in there, you can't move that pick unless you get it back from the Knicks. So that way you can't use any of those 3 picks in any kind of deal. So that's the whole up, or that's what's hurting them, for lack of a better term, in trying to put together something to get up to 3. So that's why I think 3 is hard. And Perry just put it in here. His name is Jaime Jaquez. That's the guy I'm talking about. I would love to see him in this organization, giving us a little bit of everything, because he's a little bit older cat. So he's gonna come in. He knows basketball. He was a facilitator from the post. So again, this is just another one of those guys I think would just fit in tremendously.
And Perry also said this is a deep wing draft.
Yep.
And if Portland keeps it, Dame gone. I think so too. Well,
and that's the better question. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. What you got?
No, I was just saying. I think the bigger question is what happens at 3 with Portland, and then see the biggest annoyance I have with this draft is the NBA draft always happens before the league year starts, and all these trades are hypotheticals until like July the 4th at 12 noon, and then all of a sudden they all become official. But I understand why they do it, but me as a fan, I get a little annoyed. But that gives them time to package these deals into 3-way trades and do all the other stuff to kind of make the money look good. Like Wilbon once said, they spend all the time in the world creating a collective bargaining agreement. And then once it's in place, the owners go out and spend a whole bunch of money on lawyers to teach them how to circumvent the CBA. So here we go.
Well, we said we was going to keep it short. We did it in under 40 minutes. Everybody go tune into the draft. Enjoy yourself. We'll be Facebooking and tweeting and my face and all that. Don't forget to like us on.
Y'all want to go to the top 3?
Huh?
We got the ability to go through the top 3 in the budget. Oh, y'all got stuff to do. Y'all got stuff to do. Y'all good.
I thought y'all wanted to get up out of here.
We can go top 3. We can go top 3.
I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all watching a sporting event. I mean, come on, dog.
You showing off? All right, hold on a sec.
Get him. Get him.
25 years. 25 years.
Hey, Ross, don't
25
go
years.
nowhere. Come on, stick around with us.
I'm giving back to and Buccaneers.
Hey, Perry, what you think happens at 2? Do you think it's Scoot or you think it's Brandon Miller?
What's the kid that's been talking all the trash about
here we go. Let's get into that. Let's get into that.
Brandon Miller.
He been
Whoa. Somebody said you got to go big or go home. Slam Dunkin' What the hell we got going on here? OVOs? Is that the 23 to 45?
We can go. We can go.
First pick is in.
All right,
Victor is it.
Oh man, I'm shocked. They went with Wimbayama.
They only been following the kid for 2 months.
But no. Let's go back. Let's let the world. Let's let Sideline Junkie Nation know the thoughts and the opinions, because Brandon Miller came out and made a statement yesterday. The statement was that Brandon Miller feels like that Michael Jordan, LeBron James is not the GOAT, that Paul George is his GOAT. So I would love for KG and the boss to give their thoughts on this opinion by this young man.
Go ahead, KG.
Well, Perry says Miller's a better fit, and Pick and Scoot would turn into trade talk between him and Ball in 3 years. And he's 19. Yeah, he's 19. But the disrespect that you showed cannot be tolerated. You talking about Paul George is your GOAT. If I'm a GM, and I said this in our chat, if he says Paul George is his GOAT, brother, you have no work ethic. What has Paul George won in this league? What has he done? How many times has he been to the finals? How many times has he been to the conference finals? If Paul George is your GOAT, you could have said that Dennis Rodman was your GOAT. At least I know you work and you pay attention. You got some high basketball IQ. You count how many times the ball rotates when it comes off a player's fingers. These things I can understand. I hear you, Perry. PG-13 is his fave, and he's never seen Jordan. Great. Here's my thing. I have a 19-year-old son myself. He will never disrespect the past because he knows the consequences. We don't play that. If you didn't see him play, that's great. Never disrespect the past. Never disrespect what came first. And that right there, I don't know if he was joking, but that was very disrespectful. And then to work out for MJ, and they said MJ was talking trash to him. MJ was talking big trash to him. So,
and that's even worse. If he did watch Paul George play, like you just said, KG, he hasn't won anything. He hasn't won anything. He hasn't made it past anybody. He hasn't beat any of his foes. So that you watch that, and it's probably 10 other players that played with this guy during his career that are names that you would throw out before him. So I don't know. It's just a red flag. It's a red flag to me when you say Paul George is your GOAT. Now, you know, and I said this in our chat the other day. It's like the kid doesn't have a PR team. That's how you answer this question. That's how you answer that question. Somebody sit down with him, be like, who's your GOAT? And he say Paul George. And they clear the room out there. Let me get 5 minutes with him alone. And be like, yeah, this is what you say. This is how you say it. But, you know, we're going to see, you know, he's super talented. And he's still going to get drafted. But I would love to see MJ throw on some shorts and bust that ass, though.
And Perry says, and Braun was at his prime when he started. Plus, he's a jokester, per Corey Alexander.
I hope he is. I hope he's a jokester. I hope this is what it is.
See that?
So this person, hold on. We're losing focus. The person in the middle of Wimbayama and and I don't know if that's his brother or his family, or it might be his girl or his sister. But there's quality talent here in the middle of Bayama on the couch. I'm sorry. Hey, this is my highlight of the draft. I'm here selecting mamas. You know what I'm saying?
Prime rib.
Yeah.
And Perry says, and according to Corey Alexander, he was throwing smoke at Jordan. Mike would love that. Yeah, say MJ did love it. MJ loved it, and they said that's why MJ may go number 2.
So
he may go to Charlotte.
Let's talk about that. So MJ is the outgoing owner of this team. And Mitch Kupchak said, and I quote, Michael Jordan has final say on tomorrow night's pick. What are we doing? What are we doing here? The dude that's leaving has the final say on this year's pick. He's probably already sold his stake.
No, hold on. There's Perry right there. Perry let you know sales not final, and every goodbye don't mean gone.
Okay.
Yeah, let me give you the whole thing.
Oh, because this is Mike, so I know you know this.
Everybody kneeling ain't praying. Everybody kneeling ain't praying. Every eye closed ain't sleep, and every goodbye ain't gone. Remember that. Because nobody knows where the nose goes when the door's closed. Remember that.
Okay. Well, Perry put a good point. It hasn't been proved by the governors yet. So I'll go with Perry's and not the if you ain't kneeling, you're sleeping. If you're sleeping, you're kneeling. And, oh, Lord, I got a good feeling. So, yeah, I'm going to skip all that and over what Perry said.
And Perry says a lot of youngsters don't know the history of the game, and that was disrespectful. I say it all the time.
Come on, y'all. He's 19. Like, let the kid live. You know what I'm saying? Y'all shaking your fist to the cloud. Exactly, B.
Okay.
We all said crazy stuff, in our past when we were kids, and we didn't always respect history. And you had an uncle, and you had a dad sitting in the corner room looking at you, and he'd be like, "Boy, you don't know about downtown Freddie Brown." Because when Freddie Brown hit the Beltway, he was shooting at the Capitol Center. Or you don't know about Oscar. You don't know. Well, see, I'm talking to the wrong person. So this is BJ. I'm not talking to the historian on the other end of the room. You know what I'm saying? Because we still got beef over that 1963 MVP pick of yours. So we ain't gonna go into that.
But see, here's the thing. You say that, but I was raised different. I was raised different because I was raised.
Here it is. So
I was raised to know about.
Quick. Brandon Miller was picked by Chicago, by Charlotte.
Told you.
Nah, you said you was taking him off your draft board.
I knew he was going. He was going to go there.
BJ said we'll take him off the draft board.
Yeah, I would take him off my draft board in a heartbeat.
And that's the easy way for both of you to get fired.
Well, fire me then, goddammit.
Yeah, somebody has to call me. Somebody has to call the old man in the front office and let me know he's a jokester. Because if that boy's serious, nah.
You can't pass up time, fellas. This is a talent dribble league.
Perry say stop with the get off my lawn stuff.
Thank you.
Hey, let me say this. I was raised to be a student of the game. And so I have to know what came before I saw what came now. So I was taught to be a student of the game, every aspect of it. Because you got to take a little bit of everything. When we talked about pass rushes, my cousin used to always tell me, he said, man, you got to get into him like Deacon Jones. Give him a good head slap and go past him. Okay. I got in trouble for it, but okay. These are the things that I was taught. I was taught about the past before I even knew anything about the current stuff. And then I just grew with the game. But it seems like I'm the only one raising my kids like that.
You're not the only
one. Who's the greatest shooter of all time?
Larry Bird.
He said Larry Bird.
Okay.
He said Larry Bird.
He got that boy hostage. We can't see the rest of
it. Right. He probably got in a room with a film projector. You know what I'm saying? rod the real joint.
And,
then you hear that joint. You know how that little sound go when the thing clicking through.
Rewind it.
Rewind it.
I saw your eyes wander off. Rewind it.
Hey, don't do that, because when he was playing football, I used to send him videos of Earl Campbell all the time. But anyway,
but see, that's the thing. Like, I think we get caught up because, like there's this one movie called it's called Fever Pitch. It's about the 2004. It's a rom-com, but it's about the 2004 Red Sox when they make their comeback in the playoffs against the Yankees. But they're at dinner. Oh no, they're at the bar getting drinks, and they look to their left and they see like who's on that team? Johnny Damon, Veritek, and somebody else eating dinner, and they're like, "How can they eat in this moment?" I think we as fans take this game way more serious than the players do because the players got to live it. So if they live their lives the way we do, these jokers burnt out in 3 to 4 years. But the way we look at sport and we digest it, it's a whole total different thing. So that's why we get upset with these things. Prairie, I'm on the fence with Monica. Like, she has her days, but I don't know. I'm not fully committed to the Monica McNutt. I'm not, bro. Look. We all. She had to come off the bench. I don't know. I mean, I'm just not.
I'm gonna tell you this now, Perry. If he ain't on the Monica McNutt train, I am first class.
Right.
Like if you.
We got varying opinions here, man.
We about to have some it is what it is show moments here. Okay, calm down a little bit.
I'm right there with you, Perry. I am right there with you.
So I think we're coming up on the third pick.
Third pick. Who we got? This supposed to be Scoop. Yeah.
And I swear to God, if they got Scoop, I don't know who their point guard is, who the other guard is besides Dame. But if you come down and you got Scoop on one wing and you got the kid from Kentucky that was drafted 7th that never played at Kentucky, I think his name is Sharp or whatever. Man, you can throw it to the top of the building. You can throw it to the roof and they're going to dunk it.
Well, let me say this.
This version of Lob City.
And they're going to be the 7th seed.
Don't matter.
Fighting for their lives.
Let me say this. Scoot is going to be a good number 3 pick, but he won't be the greatest number 3 pick in the NBA draft of all time.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'll
be your Huckleberry. Who will be the greatest third pick of all time? KG.
Born in Brooklyn, New York. 1 Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
I am shocked that you would say that, KG.
Wait. Dame will be passing to Jimmy Buckets next season? Wow.
We have confirmation on that?
What? Hey.
Do we have Woj? I don't do shams. It's got to be Woj.
If Miami gives up.
Why do they have to run the Alabama, the shooting and stuff right now? Why do they have to run that?
What Alabama shooting?
The one where he was involved with the gun. He gave the guy the gun.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And the girl got killed.
I
thought he was cleared.
That's what I'm saying. If he was cleared and wasn't charged with anything, then it shouldn't be being brought up now.
You also know we're going to get somebody's tweet from 10 years ago when they were like 5. So that's
I know.
Like whoever that loser, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Yo, I think this kid, if he gets the right thing and has the right mentality, like I think this is the best player in this draft. Like he has all these tangibles. Like I think he doesn't have the floor that Wembanyama has, because I think we talked about it. Oh, his mom or his auntie, whoever that is in the green dress. Backfield over there. She might have to break out. She might have to break out the cat heels, you know what I'm saying, in the slip.
Ooh,
I know that's right.
I don't even have nothing to say. And Perry said he has the tools. Future All-Star.
Yeah,
Hey, I'll be watching him. I
I
will
think
be
he's rookie of
watching
the
him.
year.
Ooh, you think
I
they're
think
gonna
he's.
let somebody other than Wembayana win Rookie of the Year?
I think they're not gonna have a choice. I think this kid's gonna come in and put enough work in that he's gonna make his only. So from what I've seen, his only deficiency is shooting. And if I'm going to Portland to play with Dame, or if Dame, let's just hypothetically say Dame's still there. Every time Dame goes to the gym to shoot, guess who's following Dame? He's got a new best friend. I'm in his hip pocket the whole time. I'm shooting as many shots as him. I'm shooting whatever. I'm doing everything I can to get better. And when this kid jumps, I don't know what happens. He got springs. He's kind of like Vince Carter-esque when it comes to when he gets up. Like it's not nice. Like he goes to the rim with no repercussions and no care for the weak, the blonde, and the little kids. That's all I'm saying.
Are you supposed to?
You're not, but I'm just saying. And he's got a nice little passing element to his game. Oh, Perry might know this. Who's the guard from UConn? He's a shooter. That's another guy you might want to look into for the Wiz. So if they don't get who they want at 8, is a guy. I think his name is Jordan Hawkins. And P, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Jordan Hawkins is another name that I would look at for the Wiz because this team has to get better shooting the basketball. And they need to figure out what's going on with Kispert. And a person I think might be on the move this weekend is Denny.
Wow.
I think
so
Denny
soon?
might be a person because his contract's up this year. So then you have to give him his contract extension. And I haven't seen enough for me to believe in what he's going to be. So I'd almost say I'd let somebody else take that risk or take that shot on what he's going to become. Because you're going to have enough, you're going to have so many picks and so many players that you're going to have to start rooting out some of the old guys. I wouldn't be surprised if Johnny Davis gets moved.
I thought Johnny Davis was a part of the Suns trade.
Nah. That's Isaiah Todd and the kid Goodwin. Goodwin was on like a 2-way deal, and then he got signed for the rest of the season. Why Scoot's dad look like Mike Epps? Why he look like Day Day? I'm just saying, his dad look like Day Day. Top flight security, the world Craig. I'm sorry, I'm acting up.
Well, we need to go ahead and get up out of here because we did it. Yeah. I just want to stun on y'all one more time. Chris Rebel working.
All right.
Just want to stun on you one more time. Just one more time. Because, couldn't let BJ have the last word. Couldn't let him have the last word.
Top flight security, the world Craig.
It's okay. I can't find. I don't have time to find the Chase Young Redskin football card I have. That'll make you drool a little bit. Redskins. I didn't say Commanders. Redskins.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we can go old school.
Hey, so if you're
Jordan Hawkins.
Yep, so I was right. Okay. So if you're in the market, there's a Kansas guard named Grady Dick. How much are you hankering for Dick to be on your team? Like, are you really going to try to get Dick on your team? Like, you want to make sure that you don't pass up on Dick? I'm just asking a question.
Hey, yo.
Pause, my guy. Pause, my guy. Pause, my guy.
Is this really what we doing, man? Is this really what we doing? That's crazy.
I'm just gonna go ahead and flip through this thing, and I ain't even got nothing to say.
Oh, my bad, man. I'm sorry.
Whew, I think he was waiting on that joke.
No, I wasn't, but hey, man.
Man. All right,
Go ahead and
fellas.
close it out, man. I don't even need the last comment because I'm probably on timeout.
He can't even get us up because his hamster running the wheel ain't doing nothing tonight.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to see what my chamber gonna look like next week.
There you go. Man, you gotta get a new hamster, man. You have to get a new hamster.
Oh yeah, he got to get a shot collar. So
your hamster probably just
shocked that one to death. Yeah, I think you just shocked that one to death.
Hey, Ross says Wiz have way too many dicks on their team.
Oh man.
Thompson twins next. All right, fellas, let's get up out of here.
So why do I work with this lady? Her last name is Dees. Her name is Kathy Dees. And all day today, every time they kept bringing her up. I'm done.
It took everything in you not to say nothing, didn't it?
No, but you know what's funny? My boss came out the back and was like, "You got the check for Kathy Dees nuts."
Fellas,
all right.
It's been a pleasure. Hey, yeah, Perry, I'm gonna have the hard wire next time because my Wi-Fi is giving me a fit. So, for the Midnight Rider, the boss BJ, I'm the big guy KG. Remember, y'all, we don't do no overtime. We are out of here.
Live.